This video can hurt, but if you want to really change your English fluency, I'll show you how. Pronunciation is not about sounds. It's about rhythm. Now, this is really strange because if you look into any English fluency program out there, including mine, I actually teach sounds. And if you were taking sessions with me, we're also going to learn the English sounds. But pronunciation is not about that. Those are just the components. What makes you going is rhythm. What makes you stuck is rhythm. I've been listening to a lot of English speakers of any level, and the one thing that differentiated the people who can speak is rhythm. No matter their level, every language has a rhythm, right? English has its own, and it goes like this. Ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. Now do this with me. Ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. The moment you understand how to transfer this rhythm into actual words, this is when you start speaking fluently. Once you learn this, you're done with pronunciation. Another thing that's gonna really challenge you is training connected speech. And this sounds very difficult to do, I know. Forget about these two words, okay? They don't matter. It's just a technical way to make it sound more important. All languages connect words together. If you don't connect the words together, you sound robotic. Okay, that's it. And I'm sure that you don't sound robotic when you speak your language. You connect words. The solution? Learning words in chunks. You see, many people learn words one by one. If you learn the correct pronunciation for talk, for example, you will repeat talk even when it's followed by about. Instead, if you learn the expression talk about, you learn them together and voila, you solved your connected speech problem once and for all. Many people believe that once you said something right, you can move on to the next thing. That's wrong. Once you said something, you said it right, you need to double down on that and do it better. This is if you want to grow, clearly. If you don't want to grow, if you want to stay where you are, you don't need to do that. But in case you want to actually become fluent, when you repeat something, you want to repeat it over and over. I say this all the time. When someone repeats something right, they just move on to the next challenging thing. And this comes from school. You see, when you're at school and you gotta repeat an exam, for example, it's because you done something wrong, so you have to repeat it. And so we grew up associating repetition with bad things, but actually that's not true at all. Actually, the more you repeat something, the better you get at it. And so once you do something right, once you nail a pronunciation style, once you nail the rhythm, you gotta keep on repeating over and over. Let me put it differently. Fluency comes from repetition, not from understanding. Fluent speakers don't use better words, don't use complex vocabulary. They simply connect simple words better. That's all. That's all. I'm sure you already know these three words. That is all, right? It's not something complex. Still, it's something you're probably not using. And this is why you don't feel fluent. Fluent speakers actually use simple words. They just connect them better. That's cool. They make you believe that once you have learned here and there, for example, you can move on to be. I am, you are, he is, she is. What happens to your brain? The department here and there feels old, feels too easy. And so you're not gonna use it because it feels too easy. You are past that, right? But English doesn't work like that. You tell me that in your language you have never used here and there. Of course you have used them, right? Now, how do you fix this? There are many ways to fix this one, and so here is one you can use for sure. You take the first thing you have learned about English. If you still have one of those old school textbooks, take one of the first things you learned and try to use as many combinations as possible of the very little things that were there. The simple combination here is can be used for a lot of things. Here's the thing. Here's the fact. Here it is. Here is the work you asked me to do. Here we are. Here she is. Here it is. Here we go. Here is another one. The word here, it's so useful. But the moment you believe that you need to use your native vocabulary into English, that's when everything just gets mixed up. You want to use English, not your language, and you want to do it better. I hope you're ready because this is big. It's going to really push you a lot. Many of you actually avoid speaking because of some lack of confidence, and I respect that. But confidence comes after speaking, not before. It's like that. When I started recording this morning, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit this channel. I wanted to quit YouTube. I didn't feel confident at all. What got me going was turning this camera on and starting recording. Now I feel way more confident. So here I am as a proof that if you want to become confident when speaking English, you gotta speak. It gotta be uncomfortable. It gotta be something that feels strange. It feels out of your comfort zone. You gotta feel the actual feeling of wanting to escape. It works because once you force yourself to do the first step, then you discover that you can do the next and the next and the next. Let me challenge you once again. You now think you need confidence to speak English, but let's say you don't. Let's say that I'm right, okay? For this moment, just believe me for a second. Let's say that you can actually speak. What would you do? What would you do once you realized that you can become the person you dream in your head? Think about it, write it down in the comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Because I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep on posting. If you're here listening to me, and you're the proof I can make it. And so I keep making more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.